Take it away. Welcome to Poddy McGuinness.
Let the pod see the cast.
Great stuff. So today we're going to be interviewing Pixie.
Yes, Pixie from Liverpool.
Liverpool-based musician. Very talented musician.
Very talented.
Plays a lot of instruments.
Plays them all.
Yeah, all of them. Every instrument.
Every single one.
You name it, she plays it. I'm playing a lot of drums recently, which I'm happy with. Love drums.
Happy with her playing drums?
I'm always happy with drums being in the conversation, really. Yeah, so Pixie's got a couple of tunes out at the minute, hasn't she?
Yeah, she's planning on releasing an EP with them, I think.
In
early next year.
I don't know, that's just trying to get you to say. In probably January, I think she was saying.
Yeah.
Released a couple of singles at the minute, so check them out. Just Move and Free to Live in Colour.
I'm not. Cause
You're not free to live in colour.
Colourblind, aren't I?
Cost
to live in colour.
Yeah.
I need to buy the glasses.
That is. Tell her that.
Yeah. I should have in the
Shame
podcast. Shame we recorded the first bit last.
Oh, we have to get her on again, aren't we? Yeah, well, enjoy the podcast.
We did.
We enjoyed it.
And the waves.
It's called Jemima Poddle Duck.
That's not good.
It's called Poddington Bear.
That's better.
That's what it's called.
Dope.
Hi, Pixie.
Hiya, you alright?
Yeah, good, thanks. How are you?
Good. I'm sound.
Good. Thanks
Really
for coming on.
Oh, you're more than welcome. Thanks for having me.
That's all
No
right.
worries.
What I'm doing with it. What have you been up to in the past few months? Nothing. Like
I would love to say like nothing, and I've been like super unproductive, but like genuinely,
yeah.
I've been.
Seems like you've been pretty on it with everything. To be fair.
Yeah, yeah. I've been. It was funny because we were joking about this. I've actually been the most busy I have ever been in my entire life. You know, the year there's like a global pandemic and everything's gone to shit. My career starts going well, so that's like the most me thing I think ever.
Yeah.
Like there's been years of like everything just, you know, not doing much. And then the second that we're all locked down for like 9 months, everything starts happening for me, so it's like sod's law. But to be honest, I'm like super chuffed with the way everything's gone.
Yeah, man, you're smashing it. Your singles sound great.
Yeah.
Thanks. Thank you so much. It was funny because I like only started really working on the EP properly at the beginning of the first lockdown, so it was super strange to really like start releasing music at that period of time.
Yeah.
But it wasn't a bad thing. It wasn't a bad thing at all. But it was like, yeah, a bit.
Yeah, it's weird that you
strange.
can't play them live, isn't it?
Yeah, that is frustrating. Like not being able to put the live set together, but. I remember when like Lipper started to open again. I think that was quite recently because a lot of my band are in Lipper, and you know, you guys know that.
Yeah.
We actually started rehearsing, and it was just the strangest feeling in the world. Like it just didn't feel
Yeah.
real.
So
What's
weird
that?
going back to it, isn't it? After like so long, you just feel like
Yeah.
you're not a band at all.
Yeah, and as well, you'll have to stand like really far away from each other, and the like bassist and the guitarist and drummer will have masks on. It just
Did they? You did have them in
it's
it.
weird.
Yeah.
Taking
Yeah,
it
it's
very
super
seriously. Were you practicing in Lipper?
Yeah, because basically all the other studios didn't open for a while, and it makes no sense to practice anywhere else because obviously it's great space to practice in. But we weren't allowed in for the longest time because obviously COVID and whatnot. But since it opened up, like I've been going in nearly every week, and we've been practicing that way. So
Nice.
it's been really great, and it's so cool like navigating the new songs now. Like I'm so excited to play them live.
Yeah, I bet you are.
Do you think it changed how you wrote them by like not having a band? You know what I mean? Were you like thinking
know
about a
what?
band when you're writing, or just like?
It's
writing?
funny because like the way I've always worked has always been on my own. So I don't write with a band. I don't write like the band are just I mean, as much as they're my friends and I love playing with them, like in technical sense they're session musicians. So
Yeah.
you know, it didn't affect my writing at all because I've never written really with other people. So that didn't bother me.
But I suppose do you think it is in the back of your mind anyway though, even writing on your own, like because
How it's gonna sound.
Because I suppose because you're not really thinking about. I don't know. You probably are thinking about how you're going to play it live anyway after It's the only thing.
Yeah, that's always like a
every
challenge because of the way I write. Because
Yeah.
I just write I write so mad. Like I just layer like thousands of things. If you look at my projects, they're like 72 tracks long.
Right.
So like trying to condense that into like 5 people is really
yeah.
hard. And actually, it's something that I've been trying to work out because my old songs are quite easy. You know, they're just like a breakbeat and bass.
Yeah.
But now I've started adding like sub bass and special effects.
No way.
And it's like so challenging, especially because I do it all myself, and I also put my live set together myself.
Yeah.
I'm hoping at some point I get a hand with it, but I think at the moment it's like really difficult to not sound like a cover band of my own songs. So like I've been
okay.
literally, but like I've been investing in like a few bits and bobs, like from saving money from me and lockdown and not spending it on booze constantly. I've been buying like bits of gear and tech to try.
Well,
and
you've
up
been
my
really
live set.
like on like your social media and stuff. You've been proper like videoing yourself doing it at home and all that. Like you've been playing drums quite a lot, haven't you?
Yeah, that was
All
so
that.
funny because it was a lockdown challenge. I think I told someone this. It was a lockdown challenge that turned into like something I realised I was actually alright at. Like I'm not saying I'm professional level drummer,
Yeah.
but it was good enough that I could like record some of the tracks on my EP, like, and I could never play before. Like you put drumstick in my hand, I couldn't play. Like
Yeah.
it was just the one instrument that boggled my mind. But now it's really funny because I can sit on a drum kit and just play, and it's
So
the most
good.
rewarding talent to have, I think. But yeah, I've been playing drums a lot, but it drove the neighbours insane. Like when I practice, it's for 4 hours straight a day. So
Practicing 4
I don't give
hours
up.
a day.
Yeah, at least, especially when I was learning the drums, because that was like racking my head a bit that I couldn't
So
get it instantly.
Are you playing on
'Cause
your
guitar's
tracks then?
different. What's that?
Are you playing on your tracks that you've released?
So some of them are programmed. So like Just Move is like a mix of programmed drums and like
Right.
and programmed sounds,
Right.
and also like some bit of live drumming in it as well. And James helped me with that, like to get that really fat sound of like the drum kit as a whole, but like to make it sound like a breakbeat. But then there's a tune on the EP called On the Mersey Line, and it had like this shit beat in it. It was rubbish. So I went back and I re-recorded it myself, and the first take was dreadful. I was like, oh my god, no.
Yeah.
But then actually I went back, and the more I played it, and then by the time I practiced it for about 14 hours, I decided it was good enough to go on the EP.
Nice.
So I did it for Mersey Line. That is just my beat all in all. So that's quite cool.
That's
Mersey
great.
beat.
Mersey beat.
Beat.
Love Mersey beat.
Nice.
But yeah.
Mersey Line. So what's Mersey Line? Is that the name of your?
It's the tram, or equivalent of
Oh,
the
you
tram
did
in
it.
Liverpool.
Do you know, right? So when I first wrote it, everyone was like, "Oh yeah, the Mersey Rail," and then I realised like, "Oh, it's not what I wrote about," but I can see why.
First thing I thought about.
Is that the name?
Yeah.
Is that the name of your EP? Is that what you said?
No, so the name of the EP is "Free to Live in Colour."
Right.
So that's like the name of what it's gonna be.
Yeah.
But On the Mersey Line is one of the tracks from it that's coming out when the EP drops.
Okay.
So it's not gonna be a single or anything, but it's one of my favourites on it, and it's about like the line of river, like the actual Mersey.
Line.
The actual like you know that road. I know because you've been to Liverpool, obviously lived here. You know that road like from the docks down to Otterspool. It's like that right on like the Mersey, like it's on the Mersey.
Just the road next to it, yeah.
Just like that path.
Yeah.
I would like whenever I was writing or like when I used to live in the centre of town, I would always go along that path up and down the Mersey.
Right.
And I would always like listen to my songs and try and write lyrics and stuff.
Oh,
So
nice. Yeah,
I reckon that's what I wrote about. And then the second I
totally
sent it, everyone was
understand
like, "Yeah, the Mersey Rail." I was like, "Can be about that if you want it to be." So I don't know, but yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah. Well, it could be about both. The Mersey Rail's great as well.
I mean, yeah, unless you get fined though. I did get fined like. Well, actually, you know Ed, my drummer.
Yeah.
He foolishly had his feet up on the seat,
Oh.
and he got 60 quid fine from the Mersey
Classic
Rail,
Ed,
and
that,
he's
innit?
despised him ever since. But
That's got Ed
I
written
reckon
all
there's
over
nice
it.
people on the Mersey Line.
I mean, yeah. You got a £50 fine for that.
Always late though. Always late.
He's
Yeah.
got his feet up, innit?
Yeah.
Oh, Ed's not always late. The Mersey Rail's always late.
Mersey Rail.
I thought you were on about your drummer.
Yeah.
What knocks 3 times
Yeah.
and comes in late? A drummer.
Oh no, not Ed. I meant the train. Sorry, Ed, if you listened to.
Should have saved that joke for the end.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
should have. I mean, there's no topping that at the end now, is there? No. Anyway, should we get on to your album of choice?
Yeah, my
Yeah.
album choice.
Caramel, it's called, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a weird choice. Like I thought because I wasn't sure what you guys would make of it because it's kind of not. I guess it's not something that people would really expect me to listen to because it's quite, it's a very ethereal album and it's. But I just love like all the elements. It's almost like I think it's a concept album. I don't know if it is, but it's just this kind of beautiful like.
It's like
arrangement
nothing
of
I've really
sounds.
heard before. Like it's got so much of his own. Like I felt like when I was listening to it, it was like so far into his mind. But he's called Connan Mockasin. Connan
Mockasin.
Conan,
Yeah, I call him Conan, but I don't know how you say it.
It's a double
spelled
N,
weird
innit?
as well.
I was thinking.
And he looks super mad. Have you seen his face? He has like this little pencil mustache.
Yeah,
I
Got a
love him
mustache,
most.
yeah.
Yeah, he's got this weird pencil mustache. But he is just like, to me, he was such a big inspiration in terms of like special sort of signature sounds. Like when you hear his music, you just know it's him instantly because he's got that creepy
it did have a unique sound to it. I thought the whole album.
Yeah.
It's like all like the vocal like the high pitched vocals in it, like they just like run through like the whole album.
Yeah.
And they're just such a strange like they're kind of uncomfortable to listen to at times.
Yeah. I like that one with the breathing in. I can't remember what that one's called, but it's just like really uncomfortable to listen to. But
and there's one. It's like, why are you crying? And it's just like this woman like just crying in the background, and I'm always just like,
actually, like he doesn't start singing it at all, does he?
No.
I think it's just her crying the whole way through.
Yeah.
She's just crying.
I always used to skip that one when I listened to it. Like when it would come up on my playlist, like if I was listening to the album straight, I'd always be like, oh, bloody hell, turn this on off, get it off. Because when you have it on in your car and you pull up to like a traffic light and it's blasting out, you just look absolutely mental. Listen to that tune.
Yeah.
But to be fair, the title track is definitely
It's
the
Your
best.
Body 3.
Yeah.
How many reasons does she need to her body? Well,
I know.
What was that song? What was it called? I think it's called "Do I Make You Feel Shy" or something.
That's one of my favourites.
Like, that's so cool. I thought that was it. It's kind of like got like a chilled Prince vibe to.
Yeah, I agree. I think as well, like with this album, it's really strange is that the tunes that are like quite coherent with lyrics are really chill, and they're not like that. They're interesting, but they're not, as weird as like when she's crying into the microphone and he's like, and it's really like, I don't even know what the word is. It's a bit creepy, to be honest, but I enjoy listening to it.
I enjoyed listening to it. Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely did as well. It's like you just enter into a different world of him. To be fair.
Yeah.
I think that's probably what he's trying to do as well.
Yeah, it's quite like a soundscape. I often felt like reading with it while it was just on in the background. It was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Like, that's such a good way to describe it, like a soundscape. I'm a bit obsessed with soundscapes at the moment. I think sometimes they can be as rewarding to listen to as like a, an upbeat, funky, I don't know, breakbeat tune, which I also love. Or like, something like I'll go from listening to like The Prodigy and then I'll just be like, oh, do you know what? That's a bit of breathing into a microphone, so I'll put Connan Mockasin on. But I think he's just like...
ASMR,
I love its soundscapes, but also Caramel, honestly, is one of my favourite songs ever. It's not, it's not even got crazy amount of like hooky lyrics or nothing. It's just such a beautiful song, and the way it's produced as well. I really love it. I'd love to do something like that.
The production in the album was really cool as well.
Yeah, it's still lo-fi, but it's not like... Yeah. Doesn't sound bad quality. I think that's the trick with lo-fi. You got to make it sound like grungy, but
that's kind of.
So it's like
I suppose that's what we're going for at the minute with like, with our recordings and stuff. I think a lot of people are like. You probably say a similar thing about yourself. Like really like lo-fi, keeping that kind of bedroom poppy vibe to it, and like, but then like really like polished production and add it like at the same time.
100%.
It's hard to get the mix, but.
it's nice. Sometimes it's hard to get that equilibrium though, like especially when you're recording like in your own bedroom and it's not in studio. I always think there's a nice balance with both. So you're in studio, you want to make it sound lo-fi.
Yeah. Sometimes
that can make it sound like on the edge, so it sounds forced. I prefer working in my environment and making something that would otherwise sound completely crap. Make it sound as polished as I possibly can, and it still comes out lo-fi because I mean one of my microphones is held together with string. Do you know what I mean? It's not a great piece of kit, but at the end of the day, like if you've got, I don't know, I think it's the song itself as well, like if you've got this kind of like grungy sound anyway, I don't know where I'm going with that, I lost my train of thought, but I think it's more of just you can make something sound polished from from a rubbish setup.
Definitely.
But I think going from a studio, like a clean studio with amazing like quality tech and everything, sometimes I think it can lose its like character. I always think with songs anyway. I've always found that my songs lose a bit of their kind of like, I don't know, uniqueness because they're just so polished and so clean.
Yeah.
I'm not really into that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I like the jingly jangly sound that your music has, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
bits Stone
that's
Roses
my
sort of
favourite thing.
esque.
Yeah, definitely.
Particularly the guitar, I think, is really cool.
Do you know what's really funny is that my actual like Strat is like people always complain about it because it's so old and it rattles and it's got this like buzzing sound because it's basically a Frankenstein Strat, so it's built from loads of different parts. I opened up like the body of it the other day and it's just full of copper foil, which is probably not a good sign. I think it's just for like grounding things, a grounding issue, but it's got all sorts of issues with it. But without that, it wouldn't have the same kind of sound, I don't think, as it does.
Totally.
It's the fun of it, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like its weakness is its uniqueness, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
But
yeah. I also with that album, I was like, because it's a lot of it is focused on like the instrumentation rather than his melodies, and like I was wondering when you write your stuff, what do you focus on more? Like is it more? I suppose it changes between each song, but like do you focus on like your vocals more or the instrumentation behind it? You said you had like 50 tracks, so it's probably...
Oh, yeah. So, I mean, by that logic in itself, it's usually the instrumentation behind it. Like, because... But then again, half of it is, like, vocal tracks, because I love tracking up, like, mixing 40 different vocal tracks together. So, you know, an average song, like one I'm working on right now, for instance, I'll start off with, like, a little melody, whether it's on the piano or the guitar, and I'll have, like, the song kind of in my head already, and then as I approach it, I think, all right, what is it going to be about? So like if I know it's going to be about a certain thing, I'll like mold the rest of the like if it's sad, you kind of want the instrumentation to reflect that, so you're going to like move towards certain instruments or like certain ways of production. But if I'm going to move towards like a breakbeat, upbeat kind of like in your face fast melody with, you know, huge riff on it, I approach that usually like completely instrumentally first, and then the lyrics and vocals always come last because I can't.
They always.
You know, someone asked me the other day. They're like, "Do you write your lyrics first?" I don't think that's ever happened in my life.
Interesting. So do you never like walking down the street and you just think of a little melody and just sing it into your voice notes?
I do, but usually it's like a guitar melody,
okay.
not a vocal melody, because I love like to construct that after the fact. So like I like for the song to be almost finished, and then I'll go back and like write some vocals on it. But to be fair, Just Move, I had like that little like Just Move that was like going around my head for a while, and I knew I wanted to put it to something, and I banged that song out in like a day in the first like week of lockdown, and it just felt right for that song. So I was like, let's just put it
I love how it's not repeated, that Just Move bit. It's like the hook and it's there like twice or three times. It's absolutely awesome.
Do you know what's really funny is like the original structure of the song, I think it didn't have it half as much, but when I sent it to James, he helped me with like some of the structure, because I tend to rush my songs. I don't like to, you know, I'm like that and then the end. But he was like, no, we need this a bit more in here, like we need a bit more like the hook and stuff, and he was like, this bit's really good, we should do this another verse and stuff like that.
Is this James?
So it was quite nice to collab that way.
James, who's this James?
So his name's James Dring. It was really funny. I had no idea really who he was until the beginning of this year, before, you know, coronavirus. And I met up with him and we were like chatting about perhaps working together and going in studio, but then obviously everything got locked down. So he reached out again and was like, listen, do you want to just do it remotely? May as well. And like, you do everything on your own, your songs are good enough, let's do it. Because those songs almost didn't go out, like, because we were going to write something completely new.
Right.
So
interesting.
Yeah. And then last minute we decided, okay, let's just put those ones out. So we collabed on like the production. So I finished the song and did my production, and then he took it and he took the stems and then like did what he wanted with them. And then it just came out like super cool. Like definitely.
Yeah. It's like it's really cool in like because obviously like the Just Move bit comes in, and then the drums come in, and like you kind of expect the same bit after the second verse as well.
Yeah.
But it just like prolongs a bit and leaves you waiting. Leaves you wanting more.
Because like the actual drop in the chorus isn't until like the second time the chorus happens after the third verse. It's like such a funky structure, but
really cool.
Yeah, I was really pleased with the way it came out. But James has worked with like some insane artists. Like when I actually realised who he worked with, I would have been so starstruck if I'd have known. Yeah. I just went in and was like, "Hiya," and then was just like, blah, 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 and he was just there like, "Okay, yeah, let's work together." And then when I actually went home and was like, "Okay, he's worked with like Lana Del Rey, The Gorillaz, Jamie T," I was like, "Oh, made an arse of myself there."
I bet you're so
but it was
glad you didn't know that before, though.
No, I had an inkling that he'd worked with some really big people, but
you didn't really want to search it before you went in.
I didn't like overly research it. I think because I knew that fact, so perhaps it was to protect myself from being like weird and shy. But nah, he's so great to work with, and he actually has such a good feel for my music in particular. Yeah. So it's really exciting.
Sick. Was it in Liverpool that you recorded?
Well, I recorded here.
You recorded at home. Oh yeah, and then sent him the stems.
Yeah, so that's like I've recorded all in this little space, which is quite nice. Which is weird, like when it goes out into the world, because obviously, you know, I've seen news about like, especially with Nicky and the Waves as well. We've been like in Liverpool, you know. I remember seeing you guys play. I can't remember where it was, but it was a couple of years ago now. And like I was still doing stuff that time, but you know I wasn't signed, and I wasn't really doing anything with music other than playing live. Yeah. I was writing constantly, so it's very bizarre. Like after like 2 years to finally be releasing stuff, just felt a bit like surreal, to be fair.
Yeah, definitely.
Still does. I find mad that people listen to my music because it's always just me like listening to my own music. Like
it's so good.
Nice if someone heard that. So good. But yeah,
it's great. Yeah. Anyway, should we move on to some quick-fire questions?
Yeah, go on. Go on.
Yeah, it's a little segment at the end where we'll just go through a few here.
Yeah.
Are you ready? Quick fire.
Quick fire. I'm so bad at this, by the way, but okay. Oh no.
Right, we are as well, to be fair.
Yeah, the last time we had on, we asked him like one question and he rambled for like 5 minutes. We were like, quick fire.
Okay, that's enough.
All right, so Pixie, place you'd most like to visit that you've never visited?
New York.
Nice. Come on, Tom.
Sorry, Oasis.
I thought these were quick fire.
Oasis or Blur?
Oh, Oasis.
Wrong. God, that's not wrong.
Sorry, mate.
If you could be any professional sports player, who would it be? No, not.
Is that so weird that like Tiger Woods just came to my head? But I don't want to be Tiger Woods.
Quick fire, we gotta take your first answer.
I didn't even.
Oh God!
Didn't even read it right either. I meant to say if you could play, if you could play any sport professionally. I meant to ask, but.
Not golf. Jesus Christ.
Not golf.
If I could play, it'd be football.
You've said Tiger Woods 100%. Now, so that's the best answer. Go on, Tom.
McFly or Busted?
Oh, Busted all the way. 100%.
Oh, wrong again.
I'm so sorry.
That is so wrong. It's unbelievable.
I don't like McFly. I'm sorry. I just find them decorative. I loved Busted as a kid. And in fact, I fancied not the tall one with the eyebrows, and not the punky one, but the other lad. I was obsessed.
James Bond.
Is that his name? I don't
James
know.
Bond.
He was like the one with the like frosted tips. Give me that any day over. What's his name? Tom from McFly. Oh,
whoa.
No, sorry.
James Bond's like a mixture between James Bond and Jason Bourne.
Yeah, I know, but he's.
Yeah, McFly is definitely McFly though. So next question: if you could be in any movie, what would it be?
Oh, it would be...
Quite a hard one.
Yeah, it's a very hard question because there's so many. I don't know. I mean, I love film. Like, I'm really into film.
Yeah.
So, I guess it would depend. Would it be for like the money, or for the
I don't know. It's
the like notoriety. Oh, do you know what? It'd be probably like some sort of weird horror film. I'm obsessed with horrors, so like I would love to be in like a cult horror film. Maybe like The Birds. I would have loved to be in That Woman in the Birds. What a film! Hitchcock. Have you seen it?
No, I've not seen The Birds.
I should watch it.
Terrible.
I watched it the other day.
I should have researched my films before I asked that question, shouldn't I?
Did you mean like acting in the film, or do you mean like being in the film
being
universe?
Any movie.
Because I was like,
it would be a Hitchcock film, I reckon.
That's a good...
That would be iconic.
Yeah, that's a top answer, Tom.
What's your favourite form of potato to eat?
Oh, so many. Well, I love it. You know what? I have such a conundrum with potatoes. Sorry for like the rambling answer, but quick fire answer is probably chips. But I bloody love crisps as well. But I don't like whole potatoes. Isn't that so weird?
Don't like whole potatoes.
Or that's just like raw.
Can't eat a whole potato.
Like boiled.
It's like raw.
Eat it like
don't do raw potatoes.
No one can eat a whole potato.
No, it's just like, do you know them people that just boil a potato and can eat it like that?
Yeah, that is weird.
Yeah.
I don't like jacket potatoes
don't just
either.
Boil one potato though. It's not.
I know people that do.
Boil one new potato.
One large potato. You've never seen that?
No.
Yeah, some people do that.
I've never seen anyone boil a large potato before, but
It's must-see.
I know what I'm having for tea tonight.
One whole bowl, please.
I think I'm running out. Favourite TV show?
Probably Peep Show is one of my favourites. I can watch that endlessly.
So good.
Loads. I'm always watching TV. But yeah, Peep Show.
TV's great though. Tom, you got any more?
I don't.
You dry. Too quick fire. You're not there.
You're too quick for us. Favourite app?
My favourite app?
Yeah.
I have some sad apps on my phone. I have like this app that like tries to cheer me up when I feel sad.
Oh, nice.
And it like gives me like little like boosters.
Like little motivation. Speech.
I can't remember what it's called though. Is it called like... it's not the Headspace app. I can't find it now. But yeah, that's probably my favourite app. It reminds me that like keep your chin up or like drink some water. Do you know what I mean? Like stuff that I obviously
like a little
can't
friend.
do myself.
Like a little friend in your pocket.
Like a little friend, like an AI friend.
Yeah.
I did see that the other day. You can now download like AI friends on your like phones.
Blow me out.
I
think they have that in like China, don't they?
Probably some like creepy man on the end.
They're just really ahead of technology, aren't they? I'm pretty sure like yeah, maybe. I'm sure I've read it somewhere. Right, well that was the quick fire round. That was good. Joke of the day, Pixie.
Ooh. Oh, alright, so we're talking about jokes. I took the liberty of researching what I think are the worst jokes, but this website says are the best.
Right.
So they're all musical related.
Nice.
And they're so bad that they're just so bad. Alright, the first one is oh wait, where is it? What kind of music are balloons afraid of?
It's pop.
And another one that made me laugh was where is it now? It was something like, what happens when you throw a piano into a mine shaft?
A flat minor, it's something like that, isn't it?
Oh god! You're just ruining this for us, Tom.
It's like my own quickfire round.
Well, I may as well just like give up at this point. All right, you obviously just know all the answers.
All right,
go on.
I've got one.
Your turn.
So I read yesterday that someone in London gets stabbed every 52 seconds. So what a poor guy.
I like that.
That's alright, isn't it?
It'll do.
You didn't see it coming. It'll do.
It's not a joke of the day.
It's not a joke of the day. Well, We've already recorded one today, and that was the joke of the day.
Yeah.
For me.
Oh, so anything other than that is just subpar.
Yeah. Tom, you got one?
I have one.
You have one?
I was trying to think of a musical one, but
Yeah, that's what I thought. But obviously, we went on the same website, didn't we?
I was.
You knew all my answers.
What do you call a Mexican who's had his car stolen?
I don't know.
Carlos.
That's solid. It's solid, isn't it?
Solid entry.
Right. I feel like it's a bit of a downer to end the podcast on, though.
Yeah, I know.
A bit of a culturally interesting joke.
Culturally interesting.
Oh dear.
One minute.
Well, good jokes.
Yeah, well, they were alright, weren't they?
Will do.
Yeah. They'll do.
They are what they are, then. The jokes. Right, thanks for coming on, Pixie.
You're more than welcome. Thanks for having me. It's been fun.
Stay safe in Liverpool.
Yeah, I will. Hopefully everything gets better as of next week.
Yeah, have fun in tier 2. Lucky you.
I know. I'm going to be, eating a substantial meal with my drink.
Going to be out
next week.
10 p.m.
Going out.
You just have to start early, won't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Nice one. Right.
Nice one.
Thanks very much.
You're welcome.
Peace.